Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. We're here again for a new Crea shot today. Hey.
Hey.
Look, we have two very, very big guests today. Very, huge guests.
Huge.
Huge. They are co-founders, one of Crea Conference and the other one of Mind Camp. So we have two big conferences meeting here today. We're really proud to show. And we have this really, really big public figures in the world of creativity, international world of creativity. So our expectations for today's shots are really, really, really high. And I'm sure these guys will meet them fully.
Thank you so much.
No, not thank you. To a high expectation. I don't want to say thank you. Too many expectations. Oh my God.
So that's our theme for today, really.
Yeah.
I think that's our theme.
Yeah. Yes. I just saying, Alessia, you know, when you go to a restaurant and the restaurant is fantastic, the food is amazing, and then you come back with your friend, maybe Tim, come with me in the restaurant. The second time say, the food is good, not exactly like the first time. This is a matter of expectation. The restaurant is the same, the food is the same, but the expectation destroys sometimes the reality. So pay attention to put down expectations. So what do you think, Tim?
So I think it's true. You know, there's you like a book by David Eagleman a lot, and one of the things that he says that our perceptions, we're capable, when we use our eyes, for example, of having billions and billions of bits of information. But our minds are only capable of processing a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of those. And so if we define our possibility by what we already know, then we're going to miss the largest part of it. We'll only go where we already know. And so expectations can actually be quite self-defeating. Of course, it makes sense to say I have a goal to, finish my project at a certain time or something like that. But I think actually expectations can be much more inside the box. Of course, we're making a box with expectations than outside of the box. And so I think that's something that's really useful to talk about.
Yeah, especially when you do creative group. At the beginning, sometimes you put all the expectation and out control at the end, if the expectation is done, and that sometimes put people in a box.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think, Tim, we can share some example of our life that was a very surprising day when we don't have any expectation. I just want to introduce, I remember we are going to visit your friend Heather in Halifax, and we took a plane and we don't know what happens during the day. So maybe you can tell something about this day. That was a fantastic day without any expectations.
Without any expectation. So this was really one of those days. It was like a Ferris Bueller's, takes a holiday day. We arrive at the airport and Heather and Benoit come to pick us up. And we thought maybe they would take us to the hotel, what you would normally do, or take us to their house. No. They took us on a ride that we ended up on the seacoast, and a little marina where there were lots of boats. And there was a woman with a small sailboat, not a big one, a small sailboat. And we went out sailing with a woman that we had never met before. So 5 people. And it was a beautiful day. It was absolute magical day. We walked into that day without any knowledge, any imagination of what we would receive. And we were fortunate that we were open to receiving anything. And so we got anything, and we got more than anything. It was one of the great days of my life. I will never forget that day.
Yeah, you have some picture, yes.
Of Matteo's face.
Yeah. It was so happy. You know me, I have a lot of passion for food, But the two sandwich in the boat was one of the most fantastic lunch of my life. Just two sandwiches and a bottle of water, because it was unexpected and surprising, and the atmosphere, the friendship. You know that I met these people for one day, and probably they are my best friend in my life. They became best friend of my life. Absolutely.
It's so sweet.
Was so
and then
great.
afterwards, we had this, I don't know how long we were on the water. It seemed like the whole day, but it probably was just a few hours. Anyway, we wanted to have something to eat at the end. And we thought, oh, maybe we'll go to a restaurant. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. And then somebody said, no. We're in Nova Scotia. We should have some lobsters. And so we went and to a market, and we got some lobsters, and we went to the house of the woman who had the sailboat. And her husband was there, and he had this amazing magic barbecue, which looked like an egg. And they were architects, so that the house was completely crazy. And there you see, we have prepared the lobster. And the woman who's looking down like that, she is so allergic to shellfish that if she eats one, she has to go to the hospital. But look at her face. Look at her face. Because she was full of joy. She was full of joy. And of course, she didn't eat any of the lobster, but she enjoyed it as much as anyone else. It was a magical, wonderful day. Magical.
It's so helpful. I can translate when I'm doing facilitation, when I achieve the objective to put this climate in my group, no process, no tools, nothing, and the group works in an amazing way. When you create the atmosphere to be surprised, to be completely in the present time, to accept unexpected tools or unexpected ways to work, is more than any process and any tools. People enjoy and produce in an amazing way new ideas, really new ideas. This is my experience. The face of ether on the table. Oh my God.
So Matteo and I were in Toronto in the aquarium, and of course we were, walking among the sharks, and it just seemed like a very funny experience. But you know that there's also a lesson in that. Yeah. Everybody who's watching this, not everybody, but many of them, you are facilitators, and you know what the experience is like. You've prepared very carefully everything you want to do with the room, and you walk into the room, and of course, the group is stronger than you are, by far. And the group wants to go to the left, and you want it to go to the right. And so you have two choices. Either you can say, I'm going to follow the group into the unknown, or I'm going to make them go where I want them to go. So which one is more successful? We all know the answer to that. If we say to the group, no, you have to go my way, what's going to happen? There's going to be resistance, negative energy, a terrible session.
Yeah. I can share also. Yes, I can share when we take a risk, Tim. When you took the risk to change completely the plan that you have done, that you've worked for many days, and accept to go in a completely different way. That became the most magic facilitation in my life. You remember once with us, one day, one morning, that you are really lot of fears because I said to you, I want to change everything. Oh
we had planned for a day before, yes. And I know and trust and love Matteo with all my heart. But he comes in the morning. He said, I was thinking last night after going to bed, and we should do this. And I thought to myself, oh my God, no, we have this whole day planned around a whole different thing. But I trusted him. And we went the direction that Matteo wanted to go. And it was, not only was it no problem, it was extremely productive. It was exactly the right thing to do. Because in the moment, it was more important than the plan. Yeah. Plans can be great, but they can also be, like we said before, too much in the box, too much in the box. Yeah. So, when people say, what is the secret to creativity? What is the secret? I think every single tool.
This is trust. That's trust. Yes, exactly. That means to have trust. Look at me behind.
This is go where your instinct tells you to go, right?
Yes, exactly.
And I think it's true. I think, that if you're too prepared, if you follow the recipe too closely, you get a good meal, but you don't get a great meal. And I think that instinct, that trust, and also to pay attention. Now, this is a good slide for paying attention because,
absolutely.
what are you paying attention to? There are two things to pay attention to. You pay attention to the outside and you pay attention to the inside. Now, in this one, I have a mask on, so I can't really pay attention to the outside, but I can pay attention to the inside. And those things are really, really important.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What I would say is the rule number one is pay attention. Everything that you do comes from what you've already seen, what you've already heard, what you've already felt. I think the next one is be open. Be open to what you see. Don't throw it away. Don't push it away because it doesn't meet your expectations. Be open to the new. Be open to seeing things in a new way, to doing things in a different order. Be open to that. Be open to the crazy ideas. And then I think have fun, make a mess, do what kids do. Kids have a wonderful time making a mess all the time. Look at this.
Yeah. Yes, I was in Disney Paris. Yes, we were with Tim for a facilitation in Disney Paris, and this is, I think, is a good picture because it's a mix of the facilitation is between reality and imagination, and that represent we are in a magic trip, and sometimes it's just not a real trip, but is inside the imagination. So I like this picture that they made for me because Tim, probably you took this picture.
I think so.
You took this picture because it represents exactly the role of the facilitator. The facilitator has to pay attention to everything, but including the imaginary of the people and what they are doing. And also, I think it's very important to be empathic, to feel the empathy of, to feel where they are going. I just to give this, I made, may say, 100 times the CPS, the Creative Problem Solving Foundation program. So I've done so many times for so many companies in so many conferences. I believe that I never done one exactly like the previous one. So also, if I do a certain plan, I change every time. With our friend is Matt Mamoon. I don't know if she's looking at us. Says, "Hey, it's Matt. We are here." And I'm doing another one, the next Crea conference with this Matt. I will do another CPS Foundation, the next Crea conference in September. With this Matt, I've done twice or three times, but every time is different. Something changed because the group changed. The feeling change, what happens inside the same tours change because the people choose different pictures, choose different imagination. And this is the best part of our work. It's fantastic that everything is completely new.
And one of the things, Matteo, that we're going to be doing at Crea, I'm going to be hosting this writing freely session that I like to do so much. It's one of the most enjoyable things I ever do. And it's very simple. What we do is we give people different prompts, and say, write for 20 minutes, see what happens. And the amazing thing about it is you have a group of people and you give them exactly the same prompt. Every person hears the same words and they write for 20 minutes. And then if they want to, they read back. Each one is a unique piece of, shining diamond. And different in the like you can't even imagine how different they are, all starting from the same place.
Yeah.
And that is that freedom to let the path take you where the path wants to go. And that path is going to change from the first day to the second day to the fifth day to the 15th day. It'll always be different if you allow it to be different.
Yeah.
It's a huge risk, but it involves trust.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yes.
They are calling me.
Yes.
We're almost over.
Oh my God! So fast.
Beautiful phone.
So fast. there is one picture that I really love to share.
Yes.
And for the people who are following us and who would like to become facilitators and they're still, on the path.
Yes. Oh my God. We are very happy. Very happy.
Very happy.
I think, yes, please, Tim, go.
Well, I think maybe, one of the things that we were talking about is the expectations. Almost every tool that we use is a tool to allow us to break free. So in some senses, although I think that the processes that we use are really important, they're really good, whether it's CPS or design thinking or productive thinking, it doesn't matter what they are. They give you a framework and they allow you to experiment. But here's what happens. Everybody has had this experience. You're riding a bicycle for the very first time and you hold on to those, the steering wheel, the bars like this, because you're going to fall over. And then you get a little bit better. And so now you're holding on like this. And then you get a little bit better. And one time you are so comfortable, you are so free that you can ride the bicycle like this. And I think that's what we want to do with process. Of course, process is important. But what you need to do is you need to become so comfortable, so natural with the process that you can let it go and just go where the situation, where the energy, where the creativity of the group, where your own creativity takes you. I think that's a huge difference. Huge difference.
So please, no expectation analysis before the creative group. No expectation analysis at the end of the group. Letting go, give freedom to the people and enjoy. I can share that sometimes when Tim says that the people show the result of the poetry, of the writing, or a result on invention, some tears arrive to my eyes because I have the big emotion to see the soul of these people. Also in a business atmosphere. Or I want to share that I remember on a package of salame in front of a customer, we cried, me and the client, because the package is the result of creative group. So I'm crying on the salame, believe me. I have some witness of that, because it's not the salame, but it's the result of creativity of the package. So it's very when you open the space to the people, is so you enter in the life of the people, and it becomes your life. Like our friend Ether and Ben and Carol and George in Halifax, that we never forget. I don't know if they say this little shot, but I want to say a lot of love, my friends, from the other part of the world, from Italy.
A lot of love.
Yes, love.
And come on, guys, let's invite those friends to our next Crea conference.
Yes.
For sure.
Tuscany in September from the 2nd to the 25th.
Yeah.
The Dynamo Camp. And they can also meet you too with no expectation.
With no expectations, except if you want to come to that writing program, please come. You'll have a great time. We're going to explore lots of things without expectations and some with. That's okay too.
Sebo.
Bye, everyone. See you next week. Grazie.
Bye.
Ciao.